So, in today's session, we're going to read the article Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert T. Kiyosaki. So, the main points that he discussed in his articles are the book in three sentences. Rich Dad Poor Dad is about Robert Kiyosaki and his two dads, his real father, Poor Dad, and the father of his best friend, Rich Dad, and the ways in which both men shaped his thoughts about money and investing. You don't need to earn a high income to be rich. Rich people make money work for them. The five big ideas: the poor and the middle class work for money. The rich have money work for them. It's not how much money you make that matters. It's how much money you keep. Rich people acquire assets. The poor and middle class acquire liabilities that they think are assets. Financial aptitude is what you do with the money once you make it. How you keep people from taking it from you. How to keep it longer, and how you make money work hard for you. The signal the single the single most powerful asset will we all have is our minds. Rich Dad Poor Dad lessons. Lesson number one: the rich don't work for money. Lesson two: why teach financial literacy. Lesson number three: mind your own business. Lesson number four: the history of taxes and the power of corporations. Lesson number five: the rich invent money. And lesson number six: work to learn, but work for money. So let's talk about the summary. There is a difference between being poor and being broke. Broke is temporary, poor is eternal. Money comes and goes, but if you have the education about how money works, you gain power over it and can begin building wealth. People's lives are forever controlled by two emotions: fear and greed. So many people say, "Oh, I'm not interested in money," yet they work at a job for 8 hours a day. Thinking that a job makes you secure is lying to yourself. Intelligence solves problems and produces money. You must know the difference between an asset and a liability and buy assets. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. Illiteracy, both in words and numbers, is the foundation of financial struggle. Money often makes obvious our tragic human flaws, putting a spotlight on what we don't know. Cash flow tells the story of how a person handles money. Most people don't understand why they struggle financially because they don't understand cash flow. The number one expense for most people is taxes. Higher incomes cause higher taxes. This is known as bracket creep. More money seldom solves someone's money problems. The fear of being different prevents most people. Where am I? Prevents most people from seeking new ways to solve their problems. A person can be highly educated, professionally successful, and financially illiterate. Many financial problems are caused by trying to keep up with the Joneses. Once you understand the difference between assets and liabilities, concentrate your efforts on buying income generating assets. The problem with simply working harder is that each of these three levels takes a greater share of your increased efforts. You need to learn how to have your increased efforts benefit you and your family directly. Wealth is a person's ability to survive so many numbers of days forward. But if I stopped working today, how long could I survive? The rich buy assets. The poor only have expenses. The middle class buy liabilities they think are assets. rich focus on their asset columns, while everyone else focuses on their income statements. Financial struggle is often directly the result of people working all their lives for someone else. The mistake in becoming what you'd study is that too many people forget to mind their own business. They spend their lives minding someone else's business and making that person rich. To become financially secure, a person needs to mind their own businesses. A financial struggle is often the result of people working all their lives for someone else. The primary reason the majority of people, the majority of the poor, Surrey, and the middle class are physically conservative, which means I cannot afford to take risks, is that they have no financial foundation. One of the main reasons net worth is not accurate is simply because the moment you begin selling your assets, you are taxed for any gains. A new car loses nearly 25% of the price you pay for it the moment you drive it off the lot. Keep expenses low, reduce liability, and diligently build a base of solid assets. Kiyosaki says he owns businesses that do not require his presence. If I have to work there, it's not a business, it becomes my job. According to Kiyosaki, real assets fall into the following categories: stocks, bonds, income generating real estate, notes, royalties from intellectual property such as music, scripts, and patents. Anything else that has value produces income or appreciates and has already market. For people who hate real estate, they shouldn't buy it. Kiyosaki generally holds real estate for less than 7 years. Start minding your own business, keep your day time, but start buying real assets, not liabilities. When Kiyosaki says mind your own business, he means building and keeping your assets column strong. Once a dollar goes into it, never let it come out. The best thing about money is that it works 24 hours a day and can work for generations. An important distinction is that rich people buy luxuries last, while the poor and middle class tend to buy luxuries first. A true luxury is a reward for investing in and developing a real asset. Kiyosaki's rich dad did not see Robin Hood as a hero. He called Robin Hood a crook. If you work for money, you give the power to your employer. If money works for you, you keep the power and control it. Each dollar is in my asset column was a great employee, working hard to make more employees and buy the boss a new Porsche. Kiyosaki reminds people that financial IQ is made up of knowledge from our from four broad areas of expertise. Number one, accounting; two, investing; three, understanding markets; and four, law. A corporation earns, spends everything it can, and is taxed on anything that is left. It's one of the biggest legal tax loopholes that the rich use. Garrett Sutton's books on corporations provide wonderful insight into the power of personal corporations. Often in the real world, it's not the smart who get ahead, but the bold. Kiyosaki sees one thing in common in all of us, himself included. We all have tremendous potential, and we all are blessed with gifts. Yet the one thing that holds all of us back is some degree of self-doubt. In Kiyosaki's personal experience, your financial genius requires both technical knowledge as well as courage. Kiyosaki always encourages adult students to look at games as reflecting back to them what they know and what they need to learn. Games reflect behavior, they are instant feedback systems. Financial intelligence is simply having more options. The single most powerful asset we all have is our mind. If it is trained well, It can create enormous wealth. The world is always handing you opportunities of a lifetime, every day of your life, but all too often we fail to see them. Richard uses two main vehicles to achieve financial growth: real estate and small cap stocks. Simple match, simple math, and common sense are all you need to do well financially. The problem with secure investments is that they are often sanitized, that is, made so safe that the gains are less. It's not gambling if you know what you're doing, it is gambling if you're just throwing money into a deal and praying. Most people never get wealthy simply because they are not trained financially to recognize opportunities right in front of them. Great opportunities are not seen with your eyes, they are seen with your mind. You want to know a little about a lot was Rich Dad Suggested. JOB is an acronym for just over broke. Look down the road. What's going on here? I don't know. Stop. I don't know what's going on. I think there is a technical issues. Where am I stopped? Yes, here. Education is more valuable than money in the long run. The reason so many talented people are poor is that they focus on building better hamburger and know little know nothing to nothing about business systems. The main management skills needed for success are management of cash flow, management of systems, and management of people. The most important specialized skills are sales and marketing. To be truly rich, we need to be able to give as well as to receive. Giving money is the secret to most great wealthy families. The primary difference between a rich poor and a poor person is how they manage fear. There are five main reasons why financially literate people may still not develop abundant assets columns that could produce a large cash flow. The five reasons are fear, cynicism, laziness, bad habits, and arrogance. For most people, the reason they don't win financially is that the pain of losing money is far greater than the joy of being rich. Failure inspires winners, and failure defeats losers. Real estate. So, real estate Real estate is a powerful investment tool for anyone seeking financial independence or freedom. A great property manager is key to success in real estate. The most common form of laziness is staying busy, which they believe that the words "I can't afford it" shut down your brain. How can I afford it? Opens up possibilities, excitement, and dreams. Whenever you find yourself avoiding something you know you should be doing, then the only thing to ask yourself is, what's in it for me? Be a little greedy. It's the best cure for laziness. Richard has found that many people use arrogance to try to hide their own ignorance. There is gold everywhere. Most people are not trying to see it. To find $1 million deals of a lifetime requires us to call on our financial genius. A reason or a purpose are is a combination of wants and don't wants. Most people simply buy investments rather than first investing in learning about investing. Richard believes one of the hardest things about wealth building is to be true to yourself and to be willing not to go along with the crowd. The rich know that savings are only used to create more money, not to pay bills. The sophisticated investor's first question is, how fast do I get my money back? If Richard could leave one single idea with you, it is the idea whenever you feel short or need something, Give what you want first, and it will come back in buckets. In the world of accounting, there are three different types of income: ordinary earned, portfolio, and passive. So, those are the recommended reading. So, if you want to read it, just check on the site. So, we finished this reading. So, now we have the second reading of this article, My Philosophy for Successful Living by Jim Rohn. The book in three sentences. Jim Rohn had influenced more than 5 million people in all corners of the world. He's famous for mentoring countless motivational speakers, including Tony Robbins, Lee Brown, Harvey Mackay, Mark Victor Hansen, and others. In My Philosophy for Successful Living by Jim Rohn, Rohn shares his best teachings on living a successful life in Philosophy for Successful Living summary. You will be paid for what you bring to the marketplace and what you become. Formal education gets your job, but self-education is what makes you rich. The answer to solving your problem isn't to be found by listing out the obstacles, both real and perceived in the outside world, but instead by noticing the obstacles in your own thinking and approach. Your personal income is determined primarily by your philosophy. If you work hard in your job, you make a living. If you work hard on yourself, you can make a fortune. Success is not something you pursue. Success is something that you attract by becoming an attractive person. The way that you become rich is not by wishing your life were easier, but instead by focusing on making yourself better. Achieving wealth and greatness can be distilled down to helping others. If you search, you can find good people, but you have to be committed to searching. Rewarding people for small steps of progress is a key part in your ultimate success. Be so busy giving others recognition that you don't really need for yourself. Becoming a skilled communicator is one of the single best investments you can make in yourself. One of the best ways of building a financial wall around your life and family is to have more than one skill and more than one language. Profits are better than wages. No matter what you are doing in life, it's important that you learn the fundamentals or the foundation of a given job or task. Taking the time to sit down and write it and work out your goals for the present, the near future, and the more remote future is a necessary part of transforming your lives. You can have all you want out of life if you endeavor to help others. Those who do not contribute to society often find that they pay a price in the form of solitude. So, let's read another article, which is Awaken the Giant Within by Anthony Robbins. So, the book in three sentences. Anytime you want to make a change in your life, the first thing you need to do is raise your standards and believe you can meet them. We must change our belief system and develop a sense of certainty, develop a sense of certainty that we can and will meet the new standards before we actually do. It's not what we do once in a while that shapes our lives, but what we do consistently. The 5 big ideas. The 3 decisions that control your destiny are your decisions about what to focus on, your decisions about what things mean to you, your decisions about what to do to create the results you desire. By changing any one of these 5 elements, whether it's a core belief or rule, a value, a reference, a question, or an emotional state, you can immediately produce a powerful and measurable change in your life. Everything you and I do, we do either out of our need to avoid pain or our desire to gain pleasure. It's not the events of our lives that shape us, but our beliefs as to what those events mean. Focus on where you want to go, not what you fear. Awaken the giant within. Summary. Anytime you sincerely want to make a change, the first thing you must do is to raise your standards and believe you can meet them. We must change our belief system and develop a sense of certainty that we can and will meet the new standards before we actually do. In life, lots of people know what to do, but few people actually do what they know. In essence, if we want to direct our lives, we must take control of our consistent actions. It's not what we do once in a while that shapes our lives, but what we do constantly. It's in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. Not only do you have to decide what results you are committed to, but also the kind of person that you're committed to becoming. If you don't set a baseline standard for what you'll accept in your life, you find it's easy to slip into behaviors and attitudes or a quality of life that's far below what you deserve. If you if you truly decide to, you can do almost anything. The ultimate success formula, which is an elementary process for getting you where you want to go. Decide what you want, take action, notice what's working or not, and change your approach until you achieve what you want. Making a true decision means committing to achieving a result, then cutting yourself off from any other possibility. The three decisions that control your destiny are your decisions about what to focus on, your decisions about what things mean to you, and your decision about what to do to create the results you desire. It's likely that wherever challenges you have in your life currently could have been avoided by some better decisions upstream. Your master system comprises five components: your core beliefs and conscious rules, your life values, your references, the habitual questions that you ask yourself, and the emotional states you experience in each moment. By changing any one of the five elements, whether it's a core belief or rule, value, a reference, a question, or an emotional state, you can immediately produce a powerful and immeasurable change in your life. Success is the result of good management. Good management is the result of experience, and the experience is often the result of bad judgment. In order to succeed, you must have a long-term success focus. God's delays are not God's denials. I really like that one. Often what seems impossible in the short term becomes very possible in the long term if you persist. Remember the true power of making decisions. Realize the hardest step in achieving anything is making a true commitment, a true decision. A critical rule I've made for myself is never to leave the scene of a decision without first taking a specific action toward its realization. Make decisions often and learn from them. When experiencing a problem, ask yourself, what's good about this? What can I learn from this? Stay committed to your decisions, but stay flexible in your approach. Know that it's your decisions and not your conditions that determine your destiny. Everything you and I do, we do either out of our need to avoid pain or our desire to gain pleasure. For most people, the fear of loss is much greater than the desire for gain. Why is that people can experience pain yet fail to change? They haven't experienced enough pain yet. They haven't hit what Robbins called emotional threshold. Okay? If we link massive pains to any behavior or emotional patterns, we will avoid indulging in it at all costs. It's our neural associations, the associations we've established in our nervous system, that determine what we do. Anytime we are in an intense emotional state, when we're feeling strong sensations of pain or pleasure, anything unique that occurs consistently will become neurologically linked. Most of us base our decisions about what to do on what's going to create pain pleasure in the short term instead of the long term. It's not actual pain that drives us, but our fear that something will lead to pain, and it's not actual pleasure that drives us, but our beliefs, our sense of certainty that somehow taking a certain action will lead to pleasure. We're not driven by reality, but our perception of reality. Remember, anything you want that's valuable requires that you break through some short term pain in order to gain long term pleasure. It's not the events of our lives that shape us, but our beliefs as to what to those events mean. It's never the environment, it's never the events of our lives, but the meaning we attach to the events, how we interpret them, that shapes who we are today and who will become tomorrow. Beliefs are the guiding force that tells us what will lead to pain or what will lead to pleasure. Whenever something happens in your life, your brain asks you questions. Will this mean pain or pleasure? What must I do now to avoid pain or gain pleasure? The challenge is threefold. Most of us do not consciously decide what we're going to believe. Often our beliefs are based on misinterpretation of past experiences. Once we adopt a belief, we forget it's merely an interpretation. Global beliefs are the giant beliefs we have about everything in our lives. Beliefs about our identities, people, work, time, money, and life itself, for that matter. The giant generalizations are often phrased as is, am, or what we said. Let's say if you have repeatedly attempted to make a particular change in your life only to continually fall short, invariably the challenge is that you were trying to create a behavioral or emotional shift that was inconsistent with your beliefs about who you are. Now we finished.